Dear human, dear soul, I welcome you to my podcast series, Conversations with the Universe. Since a near-death experience, I have the gift to communicate with subtle levels of the cosmos. The knowledge from these for us invisible forms of energy I capture in my books, and it is now a great pleasure for me to share this knowledge, these conversations, with you as a supplement to the books. Please excuse me if the terms and articulations are not perfect. Our mother tongue is German, but we try to translate it to the best of our abilities. Thank you. Dearest friend and teacher, let's get started. Where will you take me next in our cartography of the subtle worlds? I'm very curious.
I will describe my journey through the subtle levels in an analytical sequence, so that it is easier for you humans to understand.
Yes, I got that. Please continue the way you see fit.
Gladly, dear. The next higher level on the map of being is the level of the Masters of Light.
Masters of Light? This is the very first time I'm hearing of them. Please explain. I'm very keen to hear more. What exactly distinguishes the level of the Masters of Light from the others?
In the level of the Masters of Light, there are special force fields. Just as you have experienced among human beings, there, too, souls have specifications, specializations. And in this plane, there are definitely very special energy fields. Here we find soul forces that create special light fields. From their separate sector, they affect things in the cosmos, into the cosmos. It is the level of the luminous masters.
Please describe how I can picture that. What is it like in this level? Could you get it more easier? I mean, could you get there more easily?
It is very bright, dear. Very much filled with light and power. And the energy greatly warms my soul when I am there. But it is also very high vibrational, and it requires strength for me to maintain this energy. Consequently, it is unfortunately not feasible for me to stay there permanently. But the energies that reside there, the entities, are of great wisdom and great love power. It's from this level that, for example, Jesus incarnated as a living being into your world. But there are other very high-vibrating masters from the history of mankind who incarnated directly from this plane too.
It's interesting that you say that, because I would have thought that they are so high vibrational that they can't even incarnate anymore.
Oh no, dear. Besides, you must not forget the component of free will in the souls. Every soul, as long as it stays in individual consciousness, can decide to incarnate. Therefore, so can these kinds of entities. Because soul energies are found in this area. As you have learned, some force fields of the wise brotherhood do not want to incarnate because these energies and their special powers are so highly vibrationally pure that they do not have this urge. Like any energy in the cosmos, which has consciousness and is animated by love power, beings from the plane of the wise brotherhood can incarnate. To clear up some of your confusion, most energy fields from the 4th and 5th level can incarnate more easily than those from a level above, the 6th. In the 6th level, there are certainly energy fields which, as already emphasized, were not incarnated and will never incarnate. But to get back to the 7th level, and what is special about it, it is home to souls which already carry very large force fields.
Is it like a pressure precursor to the mother soul?
Wise question, dear. Yes, it is.
Oh, really? So this is more or less the final stage of individual soul can achieve?
Yes and no. There is one more distinction we have to make. Calling it a final stage would be a precarious description. After all, everything in the cosmos always works interwoven on different frequencies, but with each other. And sometimes one frequency does not perceive the other. We are next to each other and with each other, but we are separated by our own perception. This level I have just described is so powerful and so strong that it is closed to connecting directly into the mother soul. But under certain circumstances there may well be other force fields that are also close to this mother energetics, this mother soul energetics. So let me modify your question a little. These energies are so strong in power and love and consciousness that before long, if they wished, they could expand so much that they could become a mother soul. But there are other energy fields that have just left the mother soul, which are still very close to the mother soul energetics. Can you see?
You mean some have become so high vibrational and pure after a long journey through many incarnations that they might return to the mother soul?
No, dear. That they could become a mother soul of their own.
Okay, and the others have just come out of the mother soul, so that they are still quite pure and could therefore go back immediately.
Right. But please, do not distort. The very luminous masters from this 7th level are not able to incarnate again directly into the mother soul. They become their own mother souls if they want to. There is a big difference between returning to your primordial mass and creating your own big mass.
Yes, of course. Okay, so let us state clearly that they are energetically so progressed that their next level would be a mother soul of their own.
Yes, very good.
And the others are those who have just left the mother soul and are now beginning their journey into incarnations. They are also still so conscious and so powerful that they are still very close to the mother energetics.
That's right.
But there must be some difference at least, because the ones have gained all the experience while the others are like newborn babies without incarnations, no?
Yes, of course. The forces which leave the mother souls are pure and powerful, but nowhere near as conscious in themselves. The individuality they are just experiencing now, because it was only just created, is their great gift. Through this individuality, paired with free will, they will now undergo the incarnations and in doing so collect different experiences. You understand? These experiences shape the substance, the power of this soul, form it, and in the best case, expand it, until they also turn into such powerful energies as the light masters I have just described.
By the way, I'm thrilled by your accuracy, and I would also like to be accurate.
You
now,
are, dear. You are.
If these luminous masters of light, are as great, as strong as the full of light, and as full of light as the energies that come from a mother soul, do they encounter each other?
No. I'm only describing an energetics. The souls that have just hatched from the mother soul are smaller and much slower than the luminous masters. They are really in another form and are not able to communicate with the masters.
You mean slower? I see. I just thought they might run into each other.
No, they didn't.
Okay. Is it fair to say that these ascended souls who are now masters of light must have been kind of successful in all their incarnations if they have managed to get to this stage?
Well, I would put it differently. Your statement contains judgment, Sylvia. They have refined and shaped the purification of their soul over many incarnations to such an extent that they have become so powerful, loving, and strong, but above all aware of themselves. And this is how they have reached this energetics.
I see, okay. What do they do on their level? Have you been able to figure out that? Have you been able to communicate with them?
Yes, I was able to talk to them. They are in this energetics to simply be there. That is the purest form of being. It's not doing anymore, it's just being. Radiance.
Well, as a human being, that is difficult to imagine. I mean, difficult but impossible. But not impossible. That there's a state in which there's really nothing to want anymore. I find that truly fascinating. I keep trying to picture this, but the urge and the wanting to create and to materialize is so much fun. It's so joyful and so loving, just so wonderful that it's very hard for me to imagine not wanting to live that kind of giving anymore.
Yes. This special way you have of asking questions makes our communication much more interesting, Sylvia. Brava for this question. Because you direct the focus towards the problem of the joy of giving and loving, and connect it to the state of being as fulfillment.
Yes.
As you should.
And what is the point?
These entities are in such great power and abundance that they emit all this energy just by being. Do you understand what I mean with just being? Okay. They don't have to do anything more to give, Sylvia. They give just by their being.
Wow, yes, okay, I understand. I can understand that. And what exactly does this giving look like? How do they give through their being? They just are?
Exactly. They radiate in their power across the cosmic planes, spreading various energies of love, joy, power, and awareness. They are, as already mentioned, on their way to becoming mother souls themselves. And the radiance of their energetics is a very important factor in this.
Wow. Is there some kind of feedback effect of their just being and radiating? I mean, radiating through all the levels? Because that's what they do, right?
Right.
So what do they do to grow?
When the cosmic resonances reflect onto the realms, there is more and more reflection back of this energetics. And this in turn means that they grow in power.
Well, but there are also moments and levels that drain energy, meaning they only take energy and do not radiate it back.
Sure. But you forget the gratitude with which many a soul gives back. Gives its thanks. This process means that the forces of gratitude fill the luminous masters, and they grow from it.
Understand. Can you say they grow just from gratitude?
No. They grow through the power of gratitude behind the impulse of souls.
This I understand very well, and it's an area where I can imagine that these forces work in the cosmos in a very balancing way. You've talked about that before.
Yes, I did.
I see. Okay, so let me summarize. These energies, these beings are distinct. They are very aware. They are very strong, very big, very light, and very simply radiate in the cosmos.
Yes.
So does that mean that they don't move from that state?
Unless they absolutely want to. No, exactly.
One aspect I find fascinating here is if such an energetic, which is so bright and so powerful, enters a body after all, surely it would do so out of a certain need that something has to be balanced, right?
Right. They incarnate only when impulses must go directly into matter.
Wow.
If impulses need to be given directly into people or other living beings on the respective planets.
Makes sense. I see. After all, that was also the intention of Jesus, wasn't it? But it's quite alarming that his teachings were so terribly distorted and misused.
We do not judge, dear. We only observe.
Well, but we see it. Could you describe to me a little how large these energy fields are compared to the other energy fields that we've talked about so far from the other levels?
It's difficult, but I will try. Let's start with the deceased souls, which as such are very different sizes and different shapes, as we have learned. They are sometimes wider and sometimes narrower, but never larger than the human form of its body was.
So you could say never taller than 2 meters. All right, I keep you talking. No answer, really.
Then we talked about the white spheres, which are the size of soccer balls, but can transform within themselves and in fact can slightly grow if necessary. Then the angels, which are also changeable but are usually different sizes and colors. Still, neither are ever bigger than the objects I have described. Certainly, no bigger than human souls.
Okay.
The levels of the wise brotherhood are the first which form larger energy fields, as do the archangels before them. These larger energy fields are oval or round or planar, always very powerful and quite large, much larger than human forms, than body forms that are known to you.
So the force fields in the 4th, 5th and 6th level are definitely bigger and wider than we are in the human body, than these 2 meters that we are familiar with.
Yes.
Okay, and what about those in the special level?
There they are many times larger than these already large energy fields.
Wow, many times larger? Please try to describe it. Maybe just take an example. Perhaps take one of your energetics, describe its size compared to a human body, and then describe this other form.
Okay, I will try. My size is about twice that of a fully grown human body of about 2 meters.
Okay.
And these forms are quadruple that in terms of size.
Quadruple? Quadruple? So 4 times your size?
Yes.
Wow, that's really big. If you are twice the size of a human being, then you are 4 meters tall. And they are 4 times that, so 16 meters. Wow.
Yes, but please do not keep measuring. These energy fields are so strong and so powerful, but also constantly changing, that even this description can only ever be a snapshot. And also only a snapshot of one entity, not of all of them. This was only meant to give you an idea of the power potentials we are talking about here.
I understand. You explained that wonderfully. Truly. It's just really, it really helps our analytical mind to understand classification and contact. Are there many, very many of them in this level?
No.
Were you able to count them?
No, but compared to the other levels, there are much fewer. Nevertheless, they fill out the room fully.
How can I picture you walking there? I imagine you walking between skyscraper-like entities. Skyscraper-like entities, if you don't mind me to say that. Some of them will be much taller, much stronger, much more powerful. And do they have different colors, or are they all white?
They are predominantly very white, sometimes with a certain hue, but predominantly very light, so that you can't tell any color, even if there was one.
I picture it like a light shower.
Very nicely captured. I'm just transmitting to you the feeling I have when I am among them. Indeed, it is a kind of light shower, very, very powerful, loving and radiant.
Wow, beautiful. Can these energies be touched? Are you able to touch them?
Yes, I bath in them, yes.
Wow. You know, we always think in terms of physicality. Whether you can touch this body of energy. How does your energy body touch their energy body? Do they blur into one?
It is actually the mutual perception of the fields. It's not really a physical touch as you know it, but energy perceiving energy, presence perceiving presence, and information flowing.
I picture this level as something very beautiful, this light shower. And they never get bored, right?
No, no. They more or less prepare to step into the next stage of being, dear, the mother soul, to give birth to small energies from within themselves.
Wow. So that will be our next chapter, the mother souls.
Of course.
Nice. Well, thank you for today, and I'm looking forward for the next time. Thank you. Love.
It was a pleasure like always, dear. Thank you. Love.